base. And scoring is Onmar. Trouble in left for Peralta. Behind him coming in to score is Margot. And all the way to third is Azwahe. The Padres have come all the way back to take an 8-7 lead.
A dramatic come-from-behind victory last night in Game 2 of the series for the Padres. We welcome you inside Chase Field with the roof closed. It's the Padres and Diamondbacks in Game 3 of the series. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. It was exciting last night. Historic for the Padres coming back so deep and down in the game to come back and win it last night. Pretty exciting stuff.
All things considered, the position of the Diamondbacks in the NL West in the wild card, here at Chase Field where it's really tough for the Padres to win over the course of the history of these two teams. And last night, in my opinion, one of the greatest comebacks that I've seen since doing Padres baseball, because in the ninth inning, they had to really bounce back. The two-run shot. Let's start there. Now things get interesting. Fernando Rodney, who's been 15 straight in save opportunities, he gives it up. He could not locate the off-speed stuff. They rat-tat-tatted the fastball. I think Jabari Blash's walk really set things up after striking out 3 times. After Rodney gave it up, the miscue here, everybody's off and running. But Don, what this does to a ball club is just unbelievable. Sure, it's a team with the record that they have. A lot of people thought they weren't going to win this many baseball games, but the guys in the clubhouse, they believe, and they believe especially after last night's game.
Very good pitching matchup today. Luis Perdomo for the Padres against Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks.
Well, it's going to be a challenge. Even though the Diamondbacks have lost the first 2 games of the series, in this ballpark, Luis Perdomo, it's got to be the sinker. It's got to be the ground ball because the ball flies. We know that the power that the Diamondbacks have. But the last 4 starts, if he can bottle that and put it into today's game, 9 straight, going 6+. If he goes 7, that's great. With the way the bullpen's been throwing, it should be a good formula for the Padres today.
Robbie Ray on the hill, bouncing back after that terrible injury that he had, but he's been great ever since.
Don, the thing that amazes me, Robbie Ray, he throws 97. He maintains that velocity. He's got a slider and a curveball as a changeup. But after getting hit in the head July 28th, how a guy bounces back and gets up on the horse and just attacks the zone like Robbie Ray does. I'll tell you what, there's a term about baseball players and athletes. This guy's got it, and he has got it this afternoon. It's going to be a challenge for the Padres hitters today.
Chance for a clean sweep for the Padres here in the desert against the Diamondbacks. Coming up, the Padres believe in themselves. We'll hear from the clubhouse about the comeback last night. Bob Scanlon checks in with the winning team from Game 2 right after this.
Well, thanks, Don. Last night's come-from-behind victory was certainly exciting, and the home run off of Will Myers was a big hit, no question about it, but that wasn't Will's favorite hit. His favorite hit was the game winner off the bat of Carlos Aswai. Here's what Will had to say about that at bat.
That was a good matchup for us with him against Rodney. Just looking for something out over, and I felt like he put a good swing on it, and we had the error that helped right there. But it was really cool just to see all the guys battle, not give up, and be able to complete that comeback.
We believe we had a chance, from Will Myers' first home run. You know what I mean? Once we put a couple runs on the board, we kind of knew we had a chance. But yeah, that ninth inning was definitely magical, and we were very excited to put stuff together.
It's as big as it gets. It's against a very good baseball team too. It's against a playoff caliber team, and it's late in the season with a younger group of guys that have proved very resilient. So it's fun to see that. It's fun to see a team fire back and not quit and keep fighting all the way to the end.
And the thing that was equally impressive about Carlos Aswaje's at bat that won it is the fact that he'd gone 0 for 3 to start the ball game off with a couple of strikeouts. Not a very great start to the ball game, but he stayed tough, he stayed focused, and he came through in the big clutch situation. Padres will see if they can complete the sweep. It'll be the first time in Arizona since 2012. It's up to Luis Perdomo. They'll try to get some runs off Robbie Ray. Padres, Diamondbacks, first pitch coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
To score is Margot. The Padres have come all the way back. Marte strikes out, and the Padres win.
A tremendous victory last night for the Padres. When it seemed they were going to lose game 2, they win it instead and have taken the first 2. It is toasty outside as it's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 102 outside. Fortunately, the roof is closed for Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Bob Scanlon inside there at Chase Field. And Will Margot standing in on the right side, and ready is Robbie Ray. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball 1. Robbie Ray struck in the head with a line drive, has come back in a big way. His last 3 starts been tremendous. Overall in the year, 12-5. And he has Margot dancing out of the way of a pitch down and in.
You know, after last night's comeback victory, you can't wait to get back to the ballpark the next day and continue where you left off. Multiple base runners in the first inning off of Ray would be very, very nice.
Last time the Padres came back from 5 runs or more in the 9th inning to win a game. Got to go back to April 30th of 06 against the LA Dodgers. They were down 5-0, won 6-5 in 10 innings. That's ball 4, and Manuel Margot aboard to begin things here in game 3. Let's check out the Padres lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Manuel Margot just let it off. He is in center field with Eric Ibar at shortstop. Jose Perella's in left with Will Myers at first base. Yangervis Solarte at second. Jabari Blash in right. Corey Spangenberg at third with Luis Torrens doing the catching. And Luis Perdomo, the pitcher, out of the 9th spot for San Diego. So Margot at first with nobody out here in the first inning, and brings up Eric Ibar. He's moved up in the order and bats second. Ibar came off the bench last night to pinch hit, 1 for 1 with an RBI. 236 overall, 7 homers, and 20 runs batted in for the Padres shortstop. It's his first pinch hit and RBI of the season from a pinch hit spot, and that runs up and away for Ray, and all of a sudden his catcher Chris Herman out to talk to him.
A little info on the left-hander Robbie Ray, the one that got away from the Nationals and the Tigers. Effective slider. Wow, only hitting .057 off of that pitch. Hitters chase his slider down and in. That seems to be a template for left-handers who's got that sharp slider to righties down by that back foot. And then mentioned that curveball. Curveball he'll use as a changeup.
Breaking ball, drop it in there for a strike, 1-1. They're trying to find his bearings here in the first inning after a leadoff walk by Manuel Margot. Evens up at 1-1 to Ibar with Jose Perella waiting on deck. One or two.
And Robbie Ray is a grunter. He likes to grunt after every pitch.
Takes you back to the Jake Peavy days.
Good call. And then if Jake would miss with a pitch, you can hear him yell, "Come on, Peave." He'd get all over himself.
This one foul back to the screen. Yeah, I think hitters learned early on when he came over to the American League that he's not yelling at you, he's yelling at himself.
Yeah. Saw a lot of that. Quite the competitor.
Confused looks in the beginning from American League hitters. They were like, who's he talking to? Lead runner on here for the Padres in the first inning. And a 1-2 to Eric Ibar. Will have to wait as they check on Margot. Back without a problem. Lead was not terribly large. Robbie Ray coming in at 12-5 with a 2.80 earned run average. 24th start of the year for the left-hander. Slap foul off to the right out of play. Now defensively for the Diamondbacks, from left to right across the outfield, David Peralta, A.J. Pollock, and J.D. Martinez. Third to first, Jake Lamb. Adam Rosales getting a start at short. Brandon Drury at second, and Paul Goldschmidt, .997 fielding percentage. Fifth in the National League in that category, with Chris Herman doing the catching for Robbie Ray. Margot at first, nobody out in the first. Good battle here for Ibar. Runner goes. Pitch swung on, grounded left side, and the third baseman Lamb will just hold on to the baseball. Everybody's safe on the infield hit for Eric Ibar. The first two have reached here for the Padres in the first inning.
Well, just putting the ball in play, avoiding the strikeout from Robbie Ray, and another infield single. Jake Lamb spins his wheels here on this one. Oh, can't make the throw. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Have to score at least one run this inning.
2 on, nobody out, and Jose Pirela coming up. 289 average to start the day. 10 homers, 40 runs batted in for the Padres left fielder. Swing and a miss and a fastball kind of running up and away at 95.
Well, when Robbie Ray gets ahead of the hitters over the course of the season, they hit 162. When he falls behind, hitters at 277. A good start here for Ray against Pirela.
Padres been pretty good with runners in scoring position. 10 for 21 in the series. Bluff off the backside, no throw. And they were 6 for 13 on Friday night's win, and 4 for 8 in last night's win with runners in scoring position. My quick math tells me that's 10 for 21.
And that's clutch. I'm not talking about the hitting. I'm talking about you adding.
Quick math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the Padre hits have gone the other way too. They're doing a good job of that. Let's see if Pirela can do the same.
Swing and a miss, goes chasing after that same pitch.
Tough to lay off that high heater away. Yeah, I never batted with regularity and having a runner on second base, but that's got to be kind of inviting, right? You want to drive that run in and sometimes get a little froggy.
Take strike 3. Well, Robbie Ray will do that. Rack up a lot of strikeouts. His first K of the day. Well, Will Myers coming up, and Will Myers back to being Will Myers again.
Look at the location of these pitches the last 8 games. This is what Will Myers should do. He should be a threat and crush mistakes like he has. Previous 13, 119. The last 8, 452. And when you leave something up, yeah, the big boy can go off the air conditioning, ducting. Down and in, not bad as well. Speeding up his bat on the breaking ball. I got the feeling if he gets some early in the zone, he's going to be hacking against Robbie Ray.
Yeah, probably does not want to get down in the count. Hacking at the first pitch, and it's a breaking ball. Didn't get the fastball first pitch. All these situations with Robbie Ray, he's that type of pitcher that if you don't get to him early, you may not get to him at all. And you have the opportunity here in the first inning with a walk and the infield hit. Comes back to strike out Pirela. Now dealing with Will Myers. Foul tip, 0-2. Got the fastball that time, but it was basically by him.
Noticed a lot of fastballs early on in this game with Ray out there. High fastballs to Pirela, that high fastball to Will Myers.
Ray with a bluff off the backside. Really see, you look out at A.J. Pollock out there in right center. He's a step or two towards right center, but you can tell that's where he plays most everybody because you get the burn grass area out there where he stands.
Yeah.
It's a place he likes to stand. So much so the grass is kind of dead.
Yeah.
This is popped up foul off to the right out of play. Let's take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, we've seen one already to Pirela. Try to limit the K versus Ray and keep the snakes on their bellies. What I mean by that is with Perdomo on the mound, belly's on the ground, right? He's a ground ball pitcher. Keep the ball on the ground. Keep the ball in the ballpark. Hopefully Luis has that slider and that two-seamer working.
Robbie Ray started the game with 5 straight balls. Now he's thrown 11 straight strikes since. 0-2 in the dirt. There's a ball, 1-2. Here's what he's got.
Pretty basic, but the thing is, see the 94, he could touch 97 and he can maintain that. The slider down by the back foot, very effective pitch. He's pretty much fastball, slider heavy.
Bluff off the backside again. He's tried to keep Margot close and done that spiraling move with no throw several times. Margot at second, Ibar at first. 1 down here in the Padres' first inning. Ray has really slowed it up here, and now he wants to see the signs again from Chris Herman. In the dirt and blocked there by Herman. 2-2. Robbie Ray making his 24th start of the year. Trying to work his way around a walk and an infield hit here in the first. Struck out Perella, now battling with Myers. A count of 2-2. Myers fouls it back. That's a pretty good pitch. It was up to 95, but he fouls it back.
Will knows he missed it too. That's in the happy zone. Elevated fastball. Let's take another look. These are the ones where, like, as a hitter, you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. Say, you dream about it. You say, how did I miss that?
Two balls, 2 strikes here to Myers. 20th pitch of the inning coming up for Robbie Ray. Runners go. Myers will take the ball. And a double steal here for the Padres. What is the umpire indicating here? He is showing his shoulder, and they're going to move the runners back. I'm not sure if Myers interfered. Umpire is pointing to himself.
Umpire interference?
Maybe umpire interference.
Okay, Will stays in the box.
Got him on the shoulder.
Umpire interference.
So the runners go back to first and second.
Yeah, his elbow came up and hit his right shoulder.
So Tom Woodring, home plate umpire.
So no play. Runners go back to their original bases. The pitch was a ball, correct?
Correct. So a full count now to Will Myers. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Myers. And he strikes out Myers. High heat again. Back-to-back Ks for Ray. 2 down in the first.
Went with the heater. Thrown a lot of high fastballs this inning, Robbie Ray. And this one is up as well.
Definitely swung at ball 4.
Yeah, we might see a lot of that this afternoon.
So 2 down, runners at first and second, and Yangervis Solarte bats 5th today. Takes strike 1. Solarte 2 for 5 in last night's game with a double, 2 runs scored, and 3 hits in the series, going 3 for 10. Riding a 5-game hitting streak. Solarte fouls it off to the right, and it's 1-2. Next pitch will be the 25th of this first inning for Robbie Ray. Been a long inning for him, but so far the Padres have nothing to show for it. There's Perdomo, long wait over there as he gets ready for start number 26 of the year. He's long since warmed up in the pen and waiting to see here if he'll take the mound with a lead or not. In the dirt and blocked by Herman.
Saw Luis Perdomo on the bench.
Yeah.
I really dislike that, being in that position. I want to get
waiting.
out there.
Yeah.
I mean, a run, 3-run shot, whatever. Score a run, great. I want to get out there and get to work. I hated the sitting around. You get anxious.
I imagine, though, you prefer to take the mound after a couple runs, though.
Yes,
That would help, I would think.
Absolutely. No question. And it's almost sometimes where they score a couple runs and you take a bigger lead. And it's like, okay, that's good. I'll hold them next inning. I just want to get back out there.
Runner is going, but Solarte fouls it back. Diamondbacks starters with 120 plus strikeouts this season. Frankie, Ray, Corbin, Godley, and Walker. So Corbin and Godley, 2 games of the series. Now Robbie Ray today.
The thing that amazes me about this Diamondback pitching staff, number 2 in ERA in the National League in this ballpark.
Swing and a miss. Ends up striking out the side after 2 reached. Diamondbacks coming up. Don't score. Diamondbacks are coming up, and their lineup is brought to you by Hyundai. As Torey Lovello will send down David Peralta to lead it off. Peralta in left field with Brandon Drury back at second base. Jake Lamb at third. Paul Goldschmidt at first base with J.D. Martinez in right. A.J. Pollock in center. Adam Rosales at short. Chris Herman does the catching, and Robbie Ray, the pitcher, bats out of the 9 spot. On the mound is Luis Perdomo.
24-year-old making his 26th start, and he has tossed 15 quality starts this year, the youngster. His strengths, 60%, 68% of the strikes are fastballs. It's a lot of ground balls. Tendencies? Hitters have chased the slider down and away. So let's check out the location of the fastball today to these Diamondback hitters and putting them away with that slider.
David Peralta taking strike 1 from Perdomo. Peralta starting the day hitting at .296, 13 homers, and 48 runs batted in. For the left fielder for the Diamondbacks. Perdomo working with Luis Torrens today. A change in the backstop for the Padres. Torrens getting a start.
And Luis knows Luis very well. You know, the starting catcher will go down to the bullpen for the last, you catch maybe 10, 15, 20 pitches from your starter just to get used to what he's featuring that day, what he's got working.
Jumped ahead 0-2, full count now. Perdomo comes in at 7-9 with a 4.62 earned run average and ends up walking Peralta. Let's check out the Padres defensively, brought to you by Lincoln. Left to right in the outfield, Jose Pirela in left. Manuel Margot in center, Jabari Blash around in right. Corey Spangenberg at third, Eric Ibar at shortstop. Tired for the fewest number of errors in the National League, minimum of 80 games. 7 errors for Ibar. Solarte at second with Myers at first. And as we mentioned, Luis Torrens doing the catching for Luis Perdomo. Peralta at first, and Brandon Drury the batter. Drury back at second base as Calso started last night's game at second. Drury started Friday night's game. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike, 1-1. Myers holding on. Peralta at first base. And in front of him. That drops in there for a strike, 1-2.
Oh, good breaking ball. Kind of stood up Drury there.
Yeah, definitely fooled him.
Is this the old knee buckler? Whoa, straighten him up a little bit.
Just away, framed by Torrens. Evens 2-2. 26th start of the year for Luis Perdomo. Off the first batter they faced here in the bottom of the first inning in David Peralta.
He's got the ability after a walk. It's one of the things Andy Green said, to not prolong the inning and make it a stressful inning. One pitch to get 2 outs.
Fouled it off himself. Now back in June, Brandon Drury hit a home run off Luis Perdomo. Right here at Chase Field. One of the 12 home runs Drury has on the year.
Yeah, let the two-seamer middle in. And, after all is said and done this year for Drury, he's going to have over 400 at-bats, maybe 430 at-bats or so. 12 home runs, drive in about 60 after all's said and done. It's not a bad year.
Peralta at first with nobody out. Brandon Drury here battling with a count of 2-2. Ball 3, full count. Drury now with Jake Lamb waiting on deck. Diamondbacks batting in the bottom of the first.
Second full count to as many hitters. Bottom of the first here for Luis. Got to find that groove. I think he's going.
Seems to be working a little slower than we're used to. Runner goes, chop left side. Ibar in time to get Drury for the first out. But Peralta, who is on the move, takes second base.
Yeah, you put the runner in motion there because you've got a ground ball pitcher. Stay out of the double play. Perdomo wants to throw a strike. Usually works down in the zone. At least you get an out there.
One out, Peralta at second base, and it brings up Jake Lamb. Third baseman hitting at 255 coming in. 27 home runs, 98 runs batted in. Jake Lamb named to his first National League All-Star team. It's 2 RBIs to reach 100 for the first time in his career. And he'll take the strike to even the count of 1-1.
Hundo's a pretty good number, huh?
Oh yeah, that'll work. Jake Lamb fans. Bounces in for ball 2.
Now, when you go to the park today, honey, don't forget the lambs.
Okay, I'll bring the skull too.
On the ground towards Ibar, he will charge in and throw in time to get Lamb at first base. Peralta takes third, but that's out number 2 of the inning.
Another grounder, which is a good sign. Luis needs to pick up the pace a little bit and get those grounders working. Now here's Goldie.
Goldschmidt returning to the lineup last night for the Diamondbacks after missing 5 straight games with a sore elbow. .313, 33 homers, 110 runs batted in. Wild swing and a miss for strike 1.
See how far David Peralta got off third base? He was a third of the way down that baseline.
Doing some dancing down that third baseline.
Trying to disrupt probably Perdomo because he's going from the windup.
Perdomo looking at him. There's a grounder to third over to Spangenberg. His throw is good and in time to end the inning. Diamondbacks lead Peralta at third, scoreless after 1.
He's changed drastically from a couple of years ago. It was a ton of up arm side misses a couple of years ago where command was an issue, pitch count run up. Now he's attacked the zone so relentlessly that like you can't be passive on him. It's not like you can sit up there and take strike one because he can kill you with his fastball, he can kill you with his slider, kill you if he drops in the curveball. So there's ways he's going to beat you. So you only really have one choice against him. You get a good pitch, you better put a good swing on, you better put it in play.
That's Andy Green talking about Robbie Ray. There's no question. You cannot be patient with this guy. This is not a guy that you're going to sit back and hope that he doesn't find the strike zone. He showed that in the first inning, the ability to pound that strike zone, to get the strikeout when he needs it. You got to be aggressive. And Mark Grant, what I think is interesting is he used his slider to get himself back on track with his release point. Guys?
All right, Bob, thanks very much. A double here for Jabari Blash. Opens up the second inning. That was a rope to left field.
Bob, good point. And to go back to the point you made as far as that visit with Herman, that inning, he threw the slider to get back on track for the strike. And like Andy Green just said, you get a pitch early in the count, go to hack, and that ball sounded like slapping a couple of 2x4s together off the bat of Jabari Blash. Did you ever slap a couple of 2x4s together?
No.
Oh, it sounded just like that.
Now Blash at second base. Corey Spangenberg back in the starting lineup. Corey at 268 to start the day. 13 homers, 46 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. Fastball kind of tied him up. Running up and in. Well, Robbie Ray gave up a walk and a single in the first inning, but then struck out Perella, Myers, and Solarte. There's strike two.
I'm anxious to see against Corey Spangenberg, Robbie Ray, the lefty, if he consistently goes middle away. Does he purposely go inside? Sometimes a pitch will leak, or the release point will be off where it is inside. But does he stay fastballs away, breaking balls away to Corey Spangenberg?
Ended up down the middle for strike three. Frozen. Fourth strikeout for Robbie Ray. One down. Well, today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Robbie Ray had a 27 2/3 inning scoreless streak this season, which was the third longest in team history, behind Brandon Webb's streaks of 42 and 30 innings.
That's cold, that's hard, and that's a fact. And that's some good pitching right there. Brandon Webb, heavy sinker, like hitting a shot put.
One out runner at second, and swinging over the top of that was Luis Torrens. Getting a chance to catch today, catching the day game after the night game, and 167 average on the year for the Rule 5 pick into his 52nd game of the year. A lot of those coming off the bench to pinch hit, but then you start here today behind the dish.
Great experience for Luis, but also a better experience being on the bench, catching in the bullpen. Hector Sanchez, talking to Austin Hedges.
This one back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Jabari Blash being waved around. No throw from Pollock in center, and the Padres break on top 1-0. San Diego striking first today. And it's a hot shot by Luis Torrens back where it came from and into center.
My goodness. Had to hold your breath here because this was almost reminiscent. Oh, get out of the way.
Wow.
Wow. Almost reminiscent of that outing Robbie Ray had when he was struck in the head. That was back on July 28th at St. Louis. Wow.
One out, one on, and Luis Perdomo now the pitcher standing in. I'm already squaring. And he takes strike one. Way off the bag at first was Torrens. Had to dive back. Chris Herman was going to throw down to first base.
Yeah, Brandon Drury was sneaking behind him to cover on that play, but he's not going to throw to a moving target.
On a strike here to Perdomo. Run in for the Padres here in the second inning. On an RBI single by Luis Torrens, scoring Jabari Blash, who doubled to begin the inning. 105 average at the plate, 4 for 38 on the year. Pulls it back and takes strike two.
You know, with the infielders crashing like that, movement on the infield, I wouldn't mind with 2 strikes throwing the old butcher boy out there. You know, you foul it off, you get another hack at it. Chance might chop one over an infielder's head.
He went, struck out. 5 Ks now for Robbie Ray. We're talking about his injury at St. Louis earlier this season. This is very scary to watch.
Center fielder Manuel Margot.
Off the bat of Luke Voigt.
Since coming back, he has been terrific. Almost had it happen again here moments ago on a line drive right back at him by Torrens.
You know, that's the amazing thing about Robbie Ray and any pitcher who's been hit like that. To get back out there, you just have to erase that. You got to erase it from the hard drive and just go pitch by pitch. It's amazing. You know, it's like Giancarlo Stanton. It's like
Chris Iannetta.
Chris Iannetta getting hit.
I imagine it'd be incredibly hard to hit and pitch if you're afraid of the ball.
Yeah. You know, as a pitcher, you're there 60 feet 6 inches, but in reality, you're there 55 feet, 54 feet because you're throwing. I remember one time I went over to third base during batting practice, even with the bag, to see how close it was, and I was like, you got to be crazy to play third base, right? Because the ball's just rifling by me. And then I'm thinking, dude, who are you kidding? You're closer as a pitcher. So you really don't think about it.
Right. Some 30 feet closer.
Right.
Iannetta was hit with a fastball, 93-mile-an-hour fastball, kind of in the jaw area. 2-2 is swung on and missed. That is 6 strikeouts now for Ray. Padres do get to him though for a run of the inning, take a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the second. Luis Torrens right back where it came from and into center field, drives in Flash, and the Padres strike first on top 1-0.
Phoenix Padres 1, Diamondbacks nothing. Hey, Padre fans, be sure to catch new episodes of Padres POV presented by Nissan each Friday night after Padres Live, the postgame show.
So it's on to the bottom of the second inning as Perdomo now has a 1-run advantage. .287, 35 home runs, 82 runs batted in. Martinez, A.J. Pollock, and Adam Rosales. And a drive to deep left field. Up and gone, a home run. J.D. Martinez hits his 20th in a Diamondbacks uniform. And with one swing of the bat, a quick answer here for the Diamondbacks who tie it up 1-1.
First pitch hacking is J.D. Martinez, and that is a classic example of mislocation. He wanted it down and away. It's middle in. Talked about the home runs from J.D. Martinez and the fastball to the opposite field. This one is pulled.
Will Myers was 461. J.D. Martinez 461 on the tail of the tape. A.J. Pollock. He's got 9 home runs. 32 RBIs and a .257 average for the Diamondbacks center fielder. .15 home runs allowed by Luis Perdomo on the season. In there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Perdomo had 3 ground ball outs after walking the first batter in the first inning. And allows a home run to lead off this inning. Now a grounder to short for out number 1 of the inning. Well, Adam Rosales was coming up the other night. He thought he walked, but instead it was strike 3. He didn't get the news till he got to first base. Was a little embarrassed.
I was trying to convince the whole stadium that I was vulnerable. Yeah, it was the first time I ever did them in even in Little League. You know, I've never done that even in Little League. It was the first time I did that, but that's pretty embarrassing though. But you gotta laugh at yourself, right? It's whatever. But I'll tell that to the grandkids for sure.
Didn't realize it and went into that sprint that he has done so many times and trying to sprint his way to first right now, but he's out number 2.
Well, you know he's going to lead. Look at him, even when he makes an out. He's sprinting back to the dugout.
Sprints all over the field.
Yeah.
Home runs were my favorite.
Yeah, and he tackles ground balls.
Yes, he does.
he'll tackle them. I mean,
chest first.
Yeah.
2 down here in the second. Brings up Chris Herman. 174, 9 homers, 26 runs batted in, and Herman getting the start. He started Friday night. So I had a catch yesterday in game 2, but Herman back for the 3rd game. Slices it foul down the left field line into the seats. Padres shifting on the right side of the infield here. Brings Spangenberg, third baseman, to the right side to help out on the shift. And softly grounded. Myers is going to need help. Perdomo is going to get the foot down just in time to end the inning. Leadoff solo home run by J.D. Martinez ties the game 1-1. The trade brought to you by Ram Trucks.
We're going to go back last night in the ninth inning. Fernando Rodney against Carlos Asuaje. Crucial time in this ball game. He gets a call there. There's the 96, and then, you know, he's known for the changeup. Rodney throws the changeup. It was off the plate. Asuaje does a nice job of putting it in play. And look at the excitement right there. Really hard holding back the smiles in the comeback where the Padres drop a 6 spot in the ninth.
They'll tied up 1-1 today in the finale of the series. And the Padres had the early lead, 1-0. Diamondbacks answer quickly. The RBI single for Luis Torrens, but the Padres on top. J.D. Martinez with a solo home run ties it up 1-1. And we go to the top of the third. Nick Ibar, Jose Pirela, and Will Myers, the expected trio. 2, 3, and 4 coming up here for the Padres. Robbie Ray's had to work hard. This is pitch number 46 of his outing. The first hitter here of the third inning. He struck out the side in the first and in the second.
The most that Ray has thrown this year is 122. That was back against the Colorado Rockies. June 30th. And for a guy who's a strikeout pitcher, you always look at velocity. Does he maintain the velocity? And that he does.
On the ground at third, picked on the backhand by Lamb for out number 1 of the third inning. Should the Diamondbacks and Dodgers match up in the postseason? Robbie Ray in 5 starts against LA, 3-0, 53 strikeouts in those 5 starts, and the Dodgers sitting at just 211 against him. He's had their number. Dodgers have their own problems right now.
A lot of problems in LA, and Robbie Ray has got it going right now. I mean, he is just attacking the zone, and you can tell just by looking at him. I mean, his mound presence. We're talking about mound presence too, as far as pitchers are concerned. Nothing tentative about this kid at all.
One down, and Jose Pirela. It's one on the ground to third. Jake Lamb again. 2 down. We're talking about the Dodgers' problems. Padres are right in the middle of it, taking 3 out of 4 from them. And right now, you look before August in the 26th when they were 91-36. Since then, 1-14. Average bad. Runs per game bad. ERA bad. Run differential not good. No World Series winners ever gone 1-14 during the season at any point, and the Dodgers have.
Yeah, time's running out. I mean, when do you kick it back into gear? I mean, let's say they even go 500 from here on out, but yet not as clean and crisp as the other streak was. Going to the postseason, I mean, it's.
The Rockies have a 2-0 lead already today against them. Myers over the top of that. 1-1. Will struck out swinging in the first inning.
Dodgers have been outscored 58-23 during that 9-game losing streak going into today. And a 6.2 ERA. That's not a good combination.
Two and two. Fastball up and away from Myers. Myers asking if that was a strike from Tom Woodring, the home plate umpire, trying to get a gauge for what he just swung at.
Remember, he punched him out last time on the high fastball up and out of the zone.
Foul back, hangs at 2-2.
Will Myers has missed 2 pitches this game that he could have done some damage. I mean, granted, Robbie Ray's got some giddy up, but the fastball's pretty straight. Caught a lot of the plate. He's just fouled them off.
He's fouled them both back. There's been 2, as you said. He's going to get a wrinkle here. 2-2. And Myers fouls that back to the screen. Four in a row retired by Ray. Has 6 strikeouts through 2 2/3 innings. There's 2 ground ball outs here in the 3rd inning. Ibar and Perella. Now a 2-2 to Myers. Fly down the right field line, foul. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Pitch count rising for Ray. That's one good thing. He pitched 59 of his outing through 2 2/3 innings. Full count now. Looks for the September expanded rosters. Torlavella with a ton of options down there in the pen. So it's not like you're going to be strapped pitching wise at any point. So you got 11?
10. It might be 11 though.
Fouled off. Myers staying alive. It's actually 13.
Is it really?
Yeah. He's got 13
How come they didn't
guys
list him on the lineup sheet?
Don't know. They probably don't have enough room. Myers will take the walk. A 2-out base on balls. Second walk allowed by Robbie Ray in his outing. Good battle there by Will Myers to get on.
As you mentioned, Don, get the pitch count up and pass along to the next guy on Harris Solarte.
Two away, 1 on, and here is Solarte. Struck out swinging in the 1st inning. He's off a high fastball. Easier said than done so far for the Padres against Ray. A lot of them have been up.
Boy, if they could get Ray to 70 pitches, and it's going to take some doing. There's 2 outs. He's at 62 right now. He threw 107 last time out. Prior to that, 100. So that's a lot of pitches early.
Slings it over to first, and Myers back to the bag safely. This Arizona Diamondbacks team, winners of 13 straight until the Padres rolled into town. And Friday night and Saturday night, trying to make it a clean sweep here today as we play day baseball in the desert. Runner goes, and the pitch is down and in, and a stolen base for Will Myers.
Picked a good one to go on as well. A breaking ball. On the left-hander, you go on the first move. That's the chance you take. Ball in the dirt. No throw.
19th stolen base of the year for Myers. Solarte pops it up, foul ground. Herman coming back, but he will not have a play. Myers now in scoring position with 2 away. Chance here for Solarte to break this tie. Two and two. Fastball again.
It's got to be hard to lay off that high heat. Right where it says San Diego there. Coming in straight. Tough to get on top of it, especially when a guy is hurling 95, 97.
It's been a 20 pitch inning already for Ray. Solarte fouls it back. Another fastball up. A good battle was put on here by the Padres against Robbie Ray. Long at bats. Solarte now, Jabari Blash next. There are 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Myers walked and stole second base in scoring position right now. Full count, no advance for Myers. Nicely blocked by Chris Herman. Solarte pops it up. Left side of the infield. Adam Rosales, the shortstop, will make the catch that ends the inning. He's out the jam in the 3rd. Padres lead Myers at second. It's a 1-1 game.
Arizona run on this hit right here, the J.D. Martinez home run. Look where Perdomo's trying to go. He's trying to get that 2-seamer to the outside corner, but it leaks right back to the inner half, right into the power zone for J.D. Martinez. And you know what's kind of interesting, guys, last year 60% of the home runs that Perdomo allowed were to left-hand batters. This year it's 60% to the right-hand batters. A possible reason, he spent a lot of time working on facing the lefties. It was a problem for him last year. He's worked on it a lot, and maybe not quite as much progress against the right-handers. And obviously locating that fastball to the outside corner is something he's continuing to work on, and could be a big factor throughout the course of this ball game, guys.
They don't want to make a mistake against a lot of these hitters. They can make you pay, as we saw with J.D. Martinez.
Yeah, and a couple of things. To be the well-rounded pitcher at the big league level and consistent pitcher year in and year out, you have to hit those spots. You look over the course of history, the guys that year in and year out are winning ball games, throwing strikes, fewer walks, they hit their spots. 7, 8 out of 10 times, right? In this particular, we're talking about the fastball for Perdomo. But think about it. When you're a pitcher, you're a starting pitcher, right? You get a bullpen session, maybe you play catch. You can only throw so many pitches. You can't work on, okay, today we're going to throw 500 pitches down and away. A golfer could swing 500 times to work on his grip. He can work on his slice. He can work on his draw. A basketball player can shoot 500 free throws, work on his free throws. Pitcher, no, you're limited. So the time you have in the bullpen is very valuable to get it right.
But I think that's a great point. And the other thing is, if you're going to pick something that you have to work on, you're going to work on your biggest weakness, right? And that's been left-handers mostly.
Yeah.
Margot back on the track to make the catch in front of the wall. So Peralta gives it a ride to straight center field, but back there is Margot, 2 down.
Well, the first step, the recognition, straightaway center field. It's that one split second when you realize you got to go back enough to where it can make the two-handed grab on the track.
First fly out off of Perdomo. Everything else had been on the ground or a strikeout. Brandon Drury grounded out to shortstop in the first inning. Up and in, that'll grab your attention. Spinning out of the box.
Ooh, pretty good pitch.
Five in a row retired by Luis Perdomo. Working here with 2 down in the bottom of the third inning in a 1-1 game, and his 40th pitch coming up for the right-hander. Full count now. Luis coming in 7-9 with a 4.62 earned run average. On the ground up the middle, Ibar ranging to his left, throws on the run, off balance and in time. Nice play by Ibar. 1-2-3 third, a 1-1 game through 3. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. Jabari Blash leading it off here in the 4th inning. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for the Padres here. Blash with a double his first time up. Came around to score the only Padres run in the 2nd inning. He's driven in by a Luis Torrens single. 70 pitches already for Robbie Ray, first batter of the 4th inning. And trying to get that high strike, but missing. Two and two. 6 strikeouts in the first 2 innings for Ray. Didn't strike anybody out in the 3rd, and here he is in the 4th inning. Did he go? No. Mike Everett, first base umpire and crew chief.
Let's check it from the side. Oh, I thought he went. Make it hurt.
Swing and a miss, ends up striking out in the end. 7 strikeouts for Ray.
Talk about high fastballs from Robbie Ray. Here's a dose of high fastballs. Up in the zone, tough to lay off. Why? Because out of the hand, it's eye level. The closer on line it is to your eye level, it looks so inviting. But when you throw it anywhere from 93 to 97, it's tough to get on top of that when it's up in the zone. Robbie Ray is more like Rachel Ray. He's cooking with the high fastball today.
This one fouled off to the left on play. Of his strikeouts, 4 have been with fastballs, 2 curveballs, 1 slider for his 7 strikeouts through 3 1/3 innings.
Hey now. Watch the cabeza.
Line foul just outside the line. Well, the Dodgers are very fortunate to have put together the lead they had based on what they're going through. Still have a 10-game lead over the Diamondbacks, but in the wild card scenario, +5 for Arizona right now, with Colorado 2.5 games better than the Brewers and the Cardinals for that second wild card spot. And Spangenberg strikes out. Second time he's down by way of the K. 8 strikeouts for Ray, 2 down.
We talked about the high fastball from Robbie Ray. How about the breaking ball on the outer half at 87, the slider.
Two down here in the 4th inning, brings up Luis Torrens.
That's a really tight slider right there at 87.
In the dirt for ball 1. A little bit high, 2-0.
Regarding the Dodgers, then the question, is there concern? Absolutely. It's a yard sale right there right now. Right? I mean, how can you not be concerned? You're just going to come to the ballpark and say, no worries. Oh, well, we lost again.
Well, I think it's reached an area of real concern.
Yes.
If you lose some down the stretch, that's one thing, but they're losing more than some. And the way they're losing and how bad their starting rotation is looking. Losing again today. Top of the 4th, Rockies on top 2-0. See the Rockies as part of this trip. First we head to Minnesota tonight after the game, and then it is to Colorado over next weekend as Torrens. Full count now. He struck out the side in the 1st and 2nd. There's 2 strikeouts here in the 4th. And a full count now to Luis Torrens. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Torrens. Ray strikes out the order in 9 Ks for him, tied 1-1. Randy Johnson with his 3,000th career strikeout. Got Mike Lowell. Was at formerly known as Dolphin Stadium in Miami, September the 10th of 2000. One of the retired numbers here. One of 3, of course, Luis Gonzalez and also Jackie Robinson across Major League Baseball. But there he is, RJ. Randy Johnson, the other RJ.
Yeah, and you know what's incredible? He went on after that to strike out 1,875 more batters, finishing with 4,875 for the big unit.
Only Nolan Ryan with more all time. Jake Lamb leads it off here for the Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6 in a row retired by Perdomo as he starts this inning. Lamb grounded out to short in the first, 0 for 1. The only blemish today for Perdomo, the home run by J.D. Martinez to lead off the 2nd inning.
I think that's one of the big steps for Perdomo. And manager Andy Green mentioned it in the dugout before the game. Dealt a little adversity in the past and might have snowballed. You make the good point. Lead off the 2nd inning, home run, bang, bang, bang. 3 grounders, sticking to his bread and butter, not letting him get affected by that home run. It's huge.
Into the shift on the right side. Solarte in short right field throws out Lamb for out number 1 of the bottom of the 4th inning.
Hey, your breakout MLB season is on Nintendo Switch. RBI Baseball 2017 is filled with fast-paced pick up and play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for Nintendo Switch. Learn more today at RBIGame.com. But back in my day, my mom and dad used to throw me an Etch-a-Sketch and say, go at it. Have fun. See you in about 45 minutes.
It's so sad, your upbringing.
Oh, I had a great upbringing. It was awesome.
7 in a row retired by Perdomo.
My mom would just throw a sandwich down the stairs and say, hey, enjoy.
8 ground ball outs so far for Perdomo.
Friends would call during the winter. Want to talk to me?
No telephone?
Well, we had a telephone.
Oh.
Mark's down in the pit.
My mom called the basement the pit.
Did you walk to school in the snow uphill?
Both ways.
Fighting off bears with your loose leaf notebook?
No, it was my brown paper bag because my mom and dad couldn't afford a lunchbox. In fact, in the Grant household, oh my.
To deep left field off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt and gone. A 2-1 lead now for the Diamondbacks. Second home run allowed by Perdomo of the afternoon. Both of the solo variety. That's home run number 34 for Goldschmidt. Just sounded good off the bat.
It did. And once again, I'm betting that this is a pitch that's going to be up. See the glove of Terens? He wants, oh, that's a big time miss. And for a big kid, we know that the swing for Goldschmidt, watch how short quick it is. Up and in, get to it. Short on the backside. And there's that sound. A couple of 2x4s getting slapped together. Going a long way.
452 feet, the tail of the tape. There's J.D. Martinez, who already has a home run of his own. Solo shot to left in the second, has 2 home runs in the series. And in 8 September games, sitting at 424 with 7 home runs.
Well, let's see if he can bounce back like he did in the second inning. 1 out home run, 2 quick outs here to leave that 1.
He went around 1-2. Kind of changed his mind in the middle of that swing. Strikes him out. Good bounce back here. Strikes out J.D. Martinez. Second strikeout for Perdomo.
That last slider had some serious bite to it. Tilt straight down. Watch him. Wow. They've gotten J.D. Martinez a few times down and away with the slider. That one was down the heart of the plate, but it was the break that got him that time.
So 2 down, bases empty, and it brings up A.J. Pollock.
By the way, a 2x4 is actually 1.5 inches by 3.5. It's not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. Just thought I'd let you know that.
Why do they call it a 2x4?
Because they just round it up. It's easier to say than, hey, go get me 1.5 inches by 3.5. Go fetch me a 2x4. You know how I learned that?
No.
My dad's an architect and he worked with engineers and stuff.
Larry?
Larry. And he told me that when I was a kid. It stuck in my craw. See, you learn something new every day.
Rolled over foul, 1-2. Luis Perdomo's given up only 2 hits. Fortunately, both been home runs. J.D. Martinez to open the second. Paul Goldschmidt here in the 4th inning.
Throw him another wipeout slider right here.
Try it again. Full count. He's walked 1, struck out 2 through 3 2/3 innings. Home run broke up a string of 7 in a row retired by Perdomo. Has given the Diamondbacks a 2-1 advantage. There's pitch 60. And it's fouled off. We'll do it again. 3-2. The Padres will take on the Rockies next weekend in Denver. Rockies, after they wrap up their series with the Dodgers today, actually come here. Take on the Diamondbacks. 4-game series coming up. Ball 4, and Perdomo loses A.J. Pollock. Second walk allowed by Luis today.
That's the glove side fastball that we've been talking about. The command of Luis Perdomo just missing off the plate to Pollock.
20-pitch inning to this point for Perdomo, and here is old friend Adam Rosales. Grounded out to shortstop in the second inning. 0 for 1. Strike one. Rosales started the year with the Oakland A's. Going back to Oakland. Another stint for him. Ends up in Arizona and in the thick of things here in the National League race. And from an Oakland team that's in last place in the AL West. Check, but back is Pollock at first base. Adam Rosales, 34 years of age. Down 0-2. Adam last year played in 105 games for the Padres. Ended up hitting .229. Had 13 home runs in San Diego last year. 35 runs batted in. Missed the one season with the Padres. On the ground to short. Ibar to his left will shovel it to second for the out that ends the inning. But a home run for Paul Goldschmidt makes it 2-1 Diamondbacks. Desert. And time now for the San Diego fans of the game here. Padres fans enjoying this 3-game series, winning the first 2 games of the series. As the Padres on the road here in Arizona. 3rd and final game of the series.
Yeah, a lot of Friar faithful came over for the weekend series, plus the Aztec football game last night.
Luis Perdomo leading it off here in the 5th inning. All has gone well for all San Diego teams here in Arizona. Almost struck out swinging in the second inning. He's 4 for 39 at the plate this season. Takes the strike after showing bunt. Ray struck out the side in order in the fourth inning, has 9 strikeouts. He's looking for strikeout number 10 on his day. And he has it. Strikes out Perdomo for the second time today. 10 strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
And Robbie Ray goes after the pitcher like he does the number 4 hitter. Violent delivery, full effort, max effort, into the double digits in the K column.
So 1 out here in the 5th, and it brings up Manuel Margot, who has walked and struck out swinging today. Popped up, shallow center. Out goes Drury. In comes Pollock. It'll be Drury, second baseman, on the lawn in short center. 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Shortstop, Eric Ibar.
And it brings up Eric Ibar. And a base hit back in the first inning off Robbie Ray. An infield hit to third. One of 3 Padres hits. Padres actually out hitting the Diamondbacks today 3-2, but trail 2-1 as they bat here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Game 144 on the schedule today for the Padres. Chopped, and it gets to the shortstop. Rosales. His throw is in time. Inning over. Halfway through, Diamondbacks have a 2-1 lead.
As Russell Allen tells us, a remarkable story of making it to the NFL as an undrafted free agent to then losing that career after suffering a stroke on the field. Tune in Tuesday after Padres Live.
Chris Herman leading it off here now for the Diamondbacks. Last of the 5th inning. Grounded out to the first baseman Will Myers in the 2nd inning. 2-1 Diamondbacks lead here to the bottom of the 5th. Picks up the outside corner. Foul back to the screen. Herman grounds one by the mound into the shift. Spansberg's got to hurry. Herman gets down the line very well, but he is out, number 1. Nice play by Spansberg to get it there in a hurry.
Boy, no room for error right there. And for a catcher, Herman getting down the line, as you mentioned, Don, very quickly. Ooh. He can scoop.
There's a grounder by the first baseman Myers into right field, and Robbie Ray going up there hacking. He's got himself a hit. He's a good hitter. He's 12 for 46 coming in at 261. And after striking out in the 3rd, here he singles in the 5th.
Swinging early. Gets a good pitch to hit under the glove of Will Myers.
One out, one on, top of the order. David Peralta has walked and flied out to the warning track in center field. Manuel Margot making the catch out there. Right in front of the wall. One out, Ray at first, and Peralta the count of 1-1.
Those foul tips as a catcher. Ouch. See where Luis gets this one. Off the inside the right ankle. Have you got one there yet? Inside the right ankle?
No.
All right. Just wondering.
In the dirt. And remaining at first base is Ray. One out, one on. Perdomo dealing with the leadoff hitter, David Peralta. On the ground and through the vacated right side into right field. Ray up to second as Blash will get it back in. Back-to-back singles here for the Diamondbacks in the 5th.
He's such a good hitter. He puts together great at-bats. You know, not bad for a guy who was converted from a pitcher. Career .292 hitter in the big leagues. Puts together great at-bats.
Two on, one out, and Brandon Drury 0 for 2. And the same thing twice. That's ground out to the shortstop, and both times Eric Ibar up to the task. Strike one, 1-1. Herman grounded out to begin the inning. Robbie Ray with a single to right. David Peralta followed it up with a single to right. Runners at first and second, one down. Chop towards third. Spangenberg will bobble and have no play anywhere. Threw it to first, but it was going to be late, and the bases are now loaded. Error charge to Spangenberg.
Well, the frustrating part, we know, as a sinker ball pitcher, you get the grounder, and the play can't be made. Oh, the short hop there, kind of the swipe on the side. Everybody's safe.
Torrens to the mound to talk to Perdomo here with one out, bases filled with Diamondbacks. And Jake Lamb coming up. Arizona's third baseman is 0 for 2 today. He is grounded out to short, grounded out to second. Perdomo could use a ground ball right now to induce a double play.
Well, Jake Lamb has grounded into 12 this year.
Pretty good candidate.
Yeah, he is tied for first in that category for the Diamondbacks. The other one is Goldie. Paul Goldschmidt has also grounded into 12.
Here we go. Ground ball, second base. Solarte to second for one, on to first. It'll be in time. Double play. Turned by the Padres gets him out of the jam. So a double play, and we will see here if the Diamondbacks will challenge that play at first base. It was close.
You know, I'm wondering if they're going to say something. You know, Will Myers with his foot off the bag as he pulls his foot, whether that's it or not.
They will not challenge it. It is a double play that ends the inning. So that is ground ball outs number 11 and 12 of the day for Perdomo. 2-1 Diamondbacks.
Team, play above 500 baseball for over 3 months with me not really doing anything. Not hitting with runners in scoring position, not really doing much at the plate, and just to see that and know what I'm capable of doing, I think that's pretty scary to have that along with how good we've played as well. So, for me to be able to contribute again is nice. I've went a long time without really contributing, so it feels good to be able to do it even late in the season. It doesn't matter if we have 20 games left. At any time it comes, it's nice.
Will Myers very candidly talking about the struggles he's had over the course of the season, but he's been hot of late, guys. He's hit .462 in his last 8 ball games, 3 home runs, including the 2 big ones yesterday, and most importantly, 10 RBIs. He's starting to drive guys in again, and as he said, this team has played very well without his contributions. What can it do now that he's starting to get back on track? And Mark, I know you've had this experience yourself. Sometimes when you're struggling, you try to do more, throw harder, swing harder. He's actually doing less, and he's getting great results.
Great analogy there. Both sides of the ball, offensively and for a position player, for a pitcher, you're absolutely right. As a hitter, when you start squeezing that bat, I'm sure sawdust starts coming. I mean, you're defeating the purpose. As a pitcher, you're struggling. You try to hump it up even more. It flattens out.
Well, this is inside the bag at third and down the line to the left field corner. Perella headed for 2, and he will round second. Little stumble there in the bag at second, but he is okay, and a leadoff double to begin things here in the 6th inning. His first hit of the day.
That's getting on the fastball inside the pillow, and Jake Lamb at third base for Perella. And here's the guy who's swinging the hot bat. Let's see how they pitch him. Fastball's up, breaking ball's down and in. Seems the MO from Robbie Ray this afternoon.
So Will Myers has struck out, walked, and stolen a base today. Chance here to tie it up. Padres trailing 2-1, and Myers jumps on that first pitch, fouls it back at the fastball up again. Down 0-2. There is action in the Arizona pen for the first time today, as it is Jake Barrett up in the pen right now for the Diamondbacks. That's as Robbie Ray nears 100 pitches. This will be 99 to be exact. Myers sprays it foul off to the right out of play. Get you a game break coming up. We'll check in on the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Strike 3 call. Myers strikes out looking. Second time he has struck out today.
Maybe Robbie Ray gets a call here, but still, with the way that Will Myers took this, he's probably guessing off-speed pitch at 96 off the plate. Wow.
It's 11 strikeouts today for Ray, and a little help from the home plate umpire Tom Woodring on that one.
Yeah, that's getting the bat taken right out of your hands there.
So 1 out, Perella at second base, and Yangervis Solarte 0 for 2 today. Check on Perella, no throw. That one gets away. Perella going to try for third. Throw's going to be close, and he is safe. Head first slide there for Pirela. And hopefully he's okay.
This was a great read by Jose. Ball in the dirt. Daylight, go. Now the throw, head first. Oh, does he hit his head on the ground? What? Oh, I think the helmet kind of hit the ground. It came up and hit him in the face.
Paul Navarro out there checking on him. We're looking at his hand right now. Not sure. It did kind of the face plant there, but checking on the hand is Paul Navarro.
Left pinky finger, look like. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Sure. Okay. Left pinky. Isn't it supposed to really bend like that?
He stays in the game here. Now pitch getting him to third. Infield in all the way around now. With one out in the inning, and Yangervis Solarte heading the count 1-0. Tying run 90 feet away. And Solarte sends it out towards center field. Pollock on the run will get there. Pirela tags and scores the game tying run, and it's tied up 2-2. You know, Solarte getting the job done on the line out to center field. Sac fly, scores Pirela, and we're deadlocked at 2.
Got the fastball. Got the fastball down over the plate. Nice easy swing. Letting Ray do all the work. As soon as that ball is up, Pirela back to third base. That'll make the pinky feel better.
And they're working on it now. As Jabari Blash fouls it off to the right out of play.
Let me see your left pinky.
No.
That's honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't like the head first slide. A lot can go wrong.
Yeah, fingers, hands, shoulder, any number of things.
And I've always thought that position players would be a little bit more lenient as far as being aggressive, staying on the bag if runners go in feet first. I mean, not that you're going to go spikes up or anything, but still, as an infield, you want to contend with a hand or a foot.
Jabari Blash with a double in the second inning. Came around to score on the RBI single by Luis Torrens, which at the time put the Padres on top 1-0. They've just tied it up here 2-2. And a swing and a miss as Blash strikes out. 12 strikeouts for Robbie Ray today. But the Padres on a sac fly by Solarte tie it up 2-2. All right, Mike and Mark, as we move along here to the last of the 6th inning with the Padres tying the game up 2-2. Paul Goldschmidt gave the Diamondbacks a lead in the 4th inning with a home run of his own, his 34th of the year, on his 30th birthday today. Homering. Head in the count, 2-1. Leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And well, Margot over towards right center. Big gap out in left center field. Strike 2. Picked up that outside corner. It's not been a big strikeout game for Perdomo, only 2 through the first 5 innings, but ground ball outs have been very good. He is at 12 ground ball outs through the first 5. And he gets Goldschmidt to strike out on a pitch running down and away. So he goes to the slider to get him. 3rd strikeout for Perdomo.
Both Goldschmidt and J.D. Martinez, in the times that they've gone down via the strikeout, it's been on breaking balls. I tell you what, when Paul Goldschmidt takes a hack like that, you're doing something right. You don't see that too often.
So 1 down here in the 6th inning, and it brings up J.D. Martinez. Solo home run of his own in the 2nd inning. Struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Fly ball struck well to center. Margot going back at the wall, and that ball's gone. J.D. Martinez has done it again. His 2nd home run today. Diamondbacks with their 3rd home run, and with that swing, Arizona takes a 3-2 lead.
Back and forth, and Martinez takes this breaking ball right. Look at Luis Perdomo's reaction. First, Martinez gets the breaking ball right down the heart of the plate, sends it on its way to all fields. Serious power. And as soon as that one was struck, Luis Perdomo was like, oh, that was a big time mistake.
7th career multi-home run game for J.D. Martinez, who has given the Diamondbacks the lead again. Now a grounder by Perdomo to Solarte, and Pollock retired 4-3, 2 down. I'll bring up Adam Rosales. Grounded out short in the 2nd, grounded into a fielder's choice in the 4th. He's got 2 of 13 ground ball outs for Perdomo in this game. Pitch count rising for both starters as Ray has thrown 106 through 6 innings. And you got Perdomo here getting ready for his 92nd pitch. 2 down in the 6th. And Rosales goes chasing. Gets briefly away from Torrens. Got to throw him out and does. Strikeout number 4 for Perdomo ends the inning, but a home run for Martinez. 3-2 Diamondbacks. Martinez, his first of 2 home runs. This was in the second inning and tied the score 1-1. Paul Goldschmidt puts the Diamondbacks on top 2-1 with his 34th home run of the year. And a sacrifice liner off the bat of Solarte scores Pirela. But back come the Diamondbacks again. Yet another solo home run, their 3rd of the day, 2nd for J.D. Martinez. And a 3-2 Arizona lead here as we head to the 7th inning. Into the game now is T.J. McFarland as part of the El Cajon pitching change from Arizona.
Well, a lot of arms down there for Torey Lovullo. TJ made his 3rd career start. That was August 20th against the Twins. So he's one of those swing guys. You see that one start there. So the Diamondbacks keep the left-hander theme with Robbie Ray exiting. Yes, 16 games, more than an innings pitched for the left-hander TJ.
Robbie Ray, the pitcher of record right now for the Diamondbacks, as they took the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 2, and struck out 12 today. Leading it off and grounding to second base is Spangenberg for the first out of the 7th. 1 pitch, 1 out for McFarland. Starter Robbie Ray threw 106 pitches.
Catcher, Luis Torrens.
And that'll bring up Luis Torrens here, batting with 1 out and the base is empty here in the 7th. Your thoughts on Robbie Ray today?
I thought the Padres had a chance early to get to him. And I think they stuck to the game plan where Andy was talking before the game. If you got a pitch to get on it, for instance, the sac fly off Solarte, got a fastball, got the runner in. That was a good at bat. Went to the high fastball. That was one of the recipes for success, I think, for Ray today. Up in the zone for the swing and miss.
Padres had trouble laying off it and couldn't hit it.
Yeah.
12 strikeouts for Ray today in 6 innings. That's a strike, and it's 1-1 to Torrens. Matt Caesar has come out on deck here for the Padres. He would bat for Luis Perdomo here in the 7th inning. Torrens singled to center in the 2nd to drive in a run. Struck out swinging in the 4th inning. There is Jose Torres. So he'll be coming in. Fouled off, still 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes here to Torrens. McFarland first out of the pen for the Diamondbacks. First time we've seen him in the series. Of the 13 possibilities that Torey Lovullo has in his bullpen. Fouled off. It's one thing Andy Green was talking about before the game was the number of guys that Padres will bring up. Does it make sense to bring these guys up now and not have them play? I mean, you can only play so many guys in these games. You have 13 relievers sitting down there in the bullpen. That's probably not good for anybody.
I don't think it is. I think it's something I agree with. I'd rather have players, a limited amount of players to where you know they're possibly going to get some innings, get some reps, get some at-bats.
Fly ball deep left field for Torrens. Peralta going back will have room, and he makes the catch in front of the track. That looked better off the bat than it ended up being as Peralta back there reels it in. Shy of the track, Torrens is out number 2 of the 7th.
I thought he had it too. It was out in front a little bit of that breaking ball. With the way the ball travels here in Arizona, just didn't get enough oomph behind it.
So 2 down here in the 7th inning, and the pinch hitter introduced in Matt Caesar. And with that introduction, Torey Lovullo out to the mound as McFarland gets the first 2 outs of the inning, but he'll be coming out of this game. Jimmy Sherfy has been warming in the pen for the Diamondbacks. So a pitching change. 2 down here in the 7th inning with the Diamondbacks on top 3-2. Padres baseball brought to you by Petco, where the pets go. Now looking back to the desert in Arizona, Diamondbacks holding on to a 3-2 lead here in the 7th inning with 2 down. Don Orsillo and Mark Graham with you. And Mud, so far in this series, Padres have had a great series here against a very good Arizona team.
They've done very well. They've stuck to the game plan. Andy Green talked about it before the game. And what I like is that these younger guys on the team are getting a chance to play against, here in Arizona, a team that's in the hunt. Going on to Minnesota, same type deal. I mean, the whole road trip, then Colorado. It gives them a sense to where, hey, you know what, maybe one day we're going to be in this position to where we're trying to win a division or a wild card spot, and what winning's all about. And that if you do everything correctly, execute your game plan, chances are you're going to do pretty well. And they've done that the first 2 games of this series.
Jimmy Sherfy into his 5th game of the year. Ready to deal with Matt Caesar here with 2 down in the 7th inning. Base is empty. Strike on the outside corner at 96. Second appearance of the series for Sherfy.
Yeah, we saw him on Friday night. He threw the 9th inning. He was the 6th reliever used that night. And zeros all the way across for Jimmy.
DJ McFarland started the inning, got Spangenberg to ground out to second. Torrens to fly out to left. Down the first base line, it's a fair ball. Heading for second is Caesar, and J.D. Martinez will get it back in, but it's a double. Pinch hit double at that for Matt Caesar here in the 7th inning. Right inside the bag at first.
We saw Manuel Margot go the other way like that the other night, right? Matt Caesar, he's been around the block, just swatting at it, outer half. And with Goldschmidt playing way off the line, a for sure double. That was almost Paul Molitor-like, wasn't it? That swing right there, being short, quick to the baseball.
Well, Caesar at second base with 2 down here in the 7th. 2 down, and Caesar at second base representing the tying run. Chance here for Manuel Margot. Gonna pick up the outside corner for strike one. Margot has walked, struck out, and popped out. He went and is down 0-2.
Good breaking ball right there. Most definitely. Scherfing's pretty much a two-pitch pitcher. Four-seamer slider. 95, 96. Kind of like the same follow through as Zach Greinke. See how he gets the follow through and then kind of squares up towards home plate. Not that time. Fell off big time.
As a result, missed badly, and the count evens here at 2-2. Tying run at second base, and Matt Caesar here with 2 outs in the 7th inning. It's been a tight one, well pitched today, both sides. That hit he gave up to Caesar, the first hit he's given up in his 5 major league appearances. Fastball away that is fouled back to the screen. Still 2-2.
And Scherfing goes from the extreme first base side of that pitcher's plate. Get that angle down and away to the righty. And down and in to the lefty. Look, his shoe is just barely touching that, and that's legal. Have to be in contact with it.
Popped up. Back is second. Drury calls off Rosales and makes the catch and ends the inning. 7th inning stretch. Diamondbacks have a 3-2 lead.
the D-backs. One on a fastball to Martinez. One on a fastball that was a mistake to Goldschmidt, and then Martinez again on a hanging slider. Hold the deficit. HTD. Hold the deficit. That's one of my sabermetric stats that I like to throw out there, as this San Diego fan is hoping for a comeback.
Well, Perdomo today ends up going 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. He walked 2, struck out 4 through 92 pitches. Departs on the hook. Had 13 ground ball outs today. But the home runs that he gave up, which sounds bad on paper, 3, but they're all solo shots.
Yep. And you know what? He bounced back after those, right? The first home run, 1, 2, 3. Second home run, out, walk, ground ball out. Home run, out, out.
So here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, as Chris Herman leads it off. Diamondbacks catcher 0 for 2, grounded out twice. Christian Walker has come out on deck. He would bat for the pitcher, Jimmy Sherfy. Watch your face. Kind of a late reaction to a 96-mile-an-hour fastball by Chris Herman. On the ground ball, foul behind the Padres dugout on the first base side. It's 1-2. Well, 2 strikes here to Chris Herman. Pinch hitter on deck, and then David Peralta expected here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yes, he did.
He'll check. No, he did not. So it's Jordan Baker, third base umpire.
Am I asking too much on that one, you think?
I think you might be.
Yeah. All right. Just checking.
I would tell you. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. Jose Torres strikes out first batter he faces. Chris Herman is out number 1 at the bottom of the 7th inning. So that's 5 strikeouts today for Padres pitching.
Jose does a good job with the fastball on the glove side and the breaking ball to get Herman swinging. Off balance. Big first out here in the 7th.
Darren Balls, the pitching coach, going out to talk to Torres. Joined by Luis Torrens with 1 out here in the 7th. Letting him know about the pinch hitter, Christian Walker, coming up. Walker has not had a major league plate appearance, the pinch hitter, since 2015. And that was with the Baltimore Orioles at the time. Brought up today from AAA Reno, part of the team that was beaten by the El Paso Chihuahuas. He was named Pacific League MVP after hitting .309. 32 home runs, 114 RBIs this year in Reno. So here he is in the big leagues for the first time this year. First time since 2015, and pinch hitting with 1 out in the 7th.
He's not afraid to swing it, that's for sure. That's an aggressive swing.
Fouls it off the front fencing of the Diamondbacks dugout, third base way. 14 RBIs for him during the season. That is first in RBIs among minor leaguers. He's driving him in.
That ball go directly over his head?
It's like he ducked underneath it.
Oh, sure did.
Two balls, two strikes here to Walker, the pinch hitter, with one down. Got the home plate umpire, Tom Woodring, that time. And the professional courtesy as Luis Torrens gives him a little extra time. Jose Torres first out of the pen today for the Padres, has one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Full count now with David Peralta, top of the order, waiting on deck here for the Diamondbacks. Looking to obtain some insurance here on top 3-2 in their half of the 7th inning. Fouls it off himself and stays alive. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Fly ball, center field. Manuel Margot drifting back towards the track and onto it. Right on the edge to make the catch out there for out number 2. Well, tomorrow an off day for the Padres. They will spend it in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Then on Tuesday, Travis Wood and his 3-5 record, 6.00 earned run average. He matched up against Kyle Gibson, 9-10 with a 5.19. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. from Minnesota. First of 2 between the Padres and the Minnesota Twins. Twins, of course, were in at Petco Park earlier this season for 2, and it's the back end of the home and home series.
Love the Twin Cities.
It was the last time the Padres were there, if you remember.
I think 2014.
Fouled off to the left, out of play. 0-2. Well, where are the Twins in the wild card scenario? Right now, the Minnesota Twins are in the spot. Second wild card right now, ahead of the Angels by a game and a half. You may remember the Twins were at Petco Park in San Diego at the trade deadline, and they were not pleased when they sent away Kinsler, their closer, to the Nationals to better the Washington Nationals bullpen. They felt like they were in it at the time. It's a tough time for Paul Molitor right there. And talking to his players after that trade, and they're like, wait, hey, we're in this thing. Well, they sure are.
They're proving to everybody that, hey, if we're going to lose some players, we're going to do it ourselves, and it's going to be a great atmosphere there at Target Field for these Padres.
Great ballpark and a huge improvement from the Metrodome, to say the least. 2 down here in the 7th. 1-2 coming up. This is 96. Evens it up at 2-2 now to Peralta.
A lot of people forget that's where the Los Angeles Lakers originated from, the Minneapolis Lakers. Mr. George Mikan, number 99.
swing and a miss, and Torres has a good inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning. We head for the 8th. Diamondbacks on top 3-2. As we play along here to the 8th inning, David Hernandez comes into the game. His 2nd appearance of the series, his 56th outing of the year.
8th inning last night, 2/3. He struck out 1 Padre and gave up a hit. Live arm. A lot of strikeouts, very few walks. He is a strike thrower.
Eric Ibar, Jose Perella, Will Myers will be along here in the 8th. Padres trailing by a run. Ibar singled back in the 1st inning. Has grounded out twice since, a 1-for-3 day for the Padres shortstop.
Well, the combination for these D-backs have been Hernandez, Rodney. That's pretty much the when they have the lead.
To right field, J.D. Martinez in a step or 2 for the first out here in the 8th inning.
And if it's not Hernandez, Archie Bradley, who we saw, who has got first 2 pitches he threw the other night were unbelievable, weren't they? It's like bang bang. 97.
A little surprised they took him out. Last night's game is that breaks off in the hand of Eric Ibar, and that doesn't feel too good. So 1 out here in the 8th inning. Jose Perella, a double his last time up. I remember seeing David Hernandez in his starting days as a member of the Baltimore Orioles. Broke into the big leagues in 2009 with Baltimore. And made 20 starts that year. Was 4-10, 5.42 earned run average. The Orioles moved him to the pen soon thereafter. 2 years in Baltimore. 3 in Arizona before going to Philadelphia last year. It's 70 appearances out of the Phillies pen, and here he is back in Arizona again.
You know, there are guys through baseball we've seen through the course of history of this game to where, you know, shorter spurts, maybe one time through the lineup, maybe one hitter there, maybe a full inning, rather than trying to go through a lineup 3 or 4 times.
Barella strikes out. 2 down here in the 8th inning. That is 13 strikeouts on the day for Diamondbacks pitching.
First baseman, Will Myers.
Well, Will Myers trying to help the Padres come back today. Helped the Padres come back last night. Of course, his home run, 2-run shot last night, a line drive home run, 1 of 2 that he hit. That went into the bullpen. The late inning drama last night for San Diego. Only trailed by a run here today with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Myers grounds it softly towards third. Lamb will not have a play. Made the throw, but very late, and Myers ends up with a base hit. Second time he's been aboard today. Walked in the third as a single here in the 8th.
Oh, Jake Lamb playing back at third base because it's Will Myers. I mean, you know, he can get something, he can pull it with some power that way. He gets jammed, and we know that Will Myers can run. And as soon as he hits that ball, gets in his kitchen, he smells that infield single.
Goldschmidt will hold him on at first base. As Chris Herman, the catcher, out to talk to Hernandez, getting ready to deal with Yangervis Solarte. Action in the pen. Archie Bradley getting ready now in the pen. Tying run at first base. Myers already has a stolen base in this game. They think about trying to steal another one here to get into scoring position for Solarte here with 2 down.
See if Solarte can get a fastball here to rip at early.
Took a rip at that 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
He wanted to put that one in the pool with that swing.
Throw to first, and back is Myers.
They might think right along with you there, Donnie.
Myers had a pretty good sized lead over there at first. Another check on him, back again safely. Diving to the outfield side of first base. Myers represents a tying run at first base. Solarte, it's a ground ball to the second baseman Drury in short right, throws him out. Ends the inning. We head for the last of the 8th. Diamondbacks have a 3-2 lead. Ready for the last of the 8th inning. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by our San Diego Honda dealers.
First one was try to limit the K versus Ray. Well, not so good. Robbie Ray on his game, 12 strikeouts today, tied for third most career. And keep the snakes on their bellies, on the ground. Ground balls. Perdomo, right? Well, 3 home runs, all solos. 2 from Martinez, 1 from Goldschmidt.
There's a liner into left field. Brandon Drury starts the bottom of the 8th inning with a base hit to left field.
Swinging early against Torres, the high fastball.
So leadoff single here for Drury, his first hit of the day, and it brings up Jake Lamb. Jose Torres out there for his second inning of relief after a 1-2-3 7th. He starts the 8th. Lamb 0 for 3 today, 3 ground ball outs, and last time up bounced into the 4-6-3 double play. It's in a big spot actually at the time, and a big couple of outs for Luis Perdomo, who, by the way, he is on the hook, but 13 ground ball outs induced by the Padres starter Luis Perdomo today. 1-0 to Lamb. 2-0. Padres shifting on the right side. They bring Spangenberg from third base to the right side. Ibar left on the left side. He's number 4 on your screen. Fouled off to the left out of play. Padres do have action in the pen as the inning begins. Kirby Yates up in the pen. Doug Bachler keeping a close eye on Yates warming up. Checking out matchups coming up too.
Well, it's the second inning of work for Torres, and after Lamb, you've got righty, righty, righty. Goldschmidt, Martinez, Pollock, Rosales. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Drury at first as a 2-2 pitch coming up, and a swing and a miss as Torres strikes out Jake Lamb for the first out of the 8th inning. Third strikeout for Jose Torres since coming into the game.
Good bite on the breaking ball, and picked by Torrens.
Yeah, double switch coming up here for Andy Green, as he is headed out there to talk to home plate umpire Tom Woodring. Looks like Carlos Asuaje will come into the game, as Torres will be leaving, and looks like Kirby Yates will be coming in for the Padres here. Arizona with a 3-2 lead, pitching change here from Chase Field. in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out and 1 on. Jose Torres exits. Enter Kirby Yates.
55th game for the right-hander. Last time he pitched was on Thursday against the Cardinals, an inning and 2 strikeouts. He inherits a runner at first base, and he's going to face a righty, Paul Goldschmidt. He's got that changeup, that slider, try to induce a grounder. We mentioned earlier that Paul Goldschmidt has grounded into 12 double plays this season for the Diamondbacks.
One out, 1 on. Carlos Suárez is part of the double switch. Now in the game at second base. Suárez will bat in the 9 spot. Pitcher spot now 5th in the Padres order with Yangervis Solarte coming out of the game. Paul Goldschmidt on his 30th birthday and home run number 34 back in the 4th inning. A solo shot and a 1-for-3 day for the Diamondbacks first baseman. Jose Torres went an inning and a third, giving up a hit. No walks and 3 strikeouts. He remains responsible. Drury at first base. So Yates inheriting a base runner. That's strike 2. Yates claimed off waivers from the Los Angeles Angels. Home runs today for the Diamondbacks, all off Luis Perdomo. Gave up 3 solo home runs, 2 to J.D. Martinez and 1 to the man at the plate, Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, he just threw him a changeup, it looked like there. Let's see if he sets him up with a fastball or a breaking ball away. Kirby Yates is a strikeout pitcher. Way more strikeouts than innings pitched.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Goldschmidt.
Well, it took 4 pitches for Kirby Yates to dispose of Paul Goldschmidt. Hey, pressure situation. Fastball for a strike. Fastball for a strike. 0-2. Not biting on the changeup. 1-2. Changeup again. Swung on a miss. 1-3. Big second out.
So 2 down. Drury still at first base, and there's J.D. Martinez. Mentioned the 2 home runs he has had today, both solo shots. As he takes ball 1. "37 home runs now in the year for Martinez. 21 in a Diamondbacks uniform. A tremendous pickup for the Diamondbacks. It's an understatement. Big swing there, the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
And you know, for a guy to do what he's done for the position of the Diamondbacks, you talked about getting to the postseason. That it's a guy like that that propels a team to even be more fired up to acquire a bat like that when he's done.
Off the end of the bat, foul back. Time now for the Carl's Jr. star of the game, and it's this guy, J.D. Martinez. Homered first in the 2nd inning, a solo shot. That's a left center field. And then to center field in the 6th inning. Perdomo knew it right away. It's a difference in the game right now. The Diamondbacks on top 3-2 with 2 down here in the last of the 8th inning. Almost hit him as he spins away. 2-2.
Nothing wrong with that. Kind of move his feet a little bit. Well, fastball in. Boy, it sets him up now for the fastball away, the slider away, the changeup. Remember, we got Goldschmidt with the split finger. The split finger fastball from Kirby Yates.
So to first and back to the bag is Drury. Swing and a miss, and Martinez strikes out. Great job by Kirby Yates. Comes in and strikes out Paul Goldschmidt and J.D. Martinez back to back. Both down by way of the K. We go to the ninth, 3-2 Diamondbacks. Of last night for the Padres, can they do it again here in the ninth inning? Fernando Rodney was in, and of course Hedges setting it up, driving in a run, and Eric Ibar part of the party as well. And the big hit by Suaje, and it gets away from Peralta and left. Padres would take the lead with a 6-run inning, and they were a fired up bunch. Rodney would leave. He would take the loss in the game, and today, no Fernando Rodney for the ninth inning with a 1-run lead. Instead, it is Archie Bradley into the game here for the Diamondbacks.
This kid's got electric stuff. We saw it last night. 71 strikeouts in 64 2/3. The opponent's only hitting 192. He keeps the ball in the yard. Very few walks. I mean, the fastball's electric. He hits his spots.
Barry Blast leading it off and taking strike one. The Archie Bradley beards. Strike two, 97. 0-2. Flash had a double in the second, and struck out twice since. All that was against Robbie Ray, who struck out 12. Strikes out. Jabari Blast, route number 1 of the ninth inning. 14 strikeouts for Diamondbacks pitching.
Just rearing back and throwing the heater, the high heater, for the strikeout.
So one down here in the ninth inning, and it brings up Corey Spangenberg. Archie Bradley does not have a major league save. 97 on the fastball so far for him, and it is also moving, which makes it difficult. Hector Sanchez has come out on deck for the Padres. He would pinch hit for Luis Torrens. Those captioning for today's game brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Spangenberg 0 for 3, struck out twice. Fouls it off and is down 1-2. Fouled back to the screen again. Now to look at the scoreboard, the Rockies have a 7-0 lead over the Dodgers. They're in the 9th. So again, the Dodgers having a rough day. One-two pitch. Spangenberg strikes out, 2 down in the 9th inning. Back-to-back Ks for Archie Bradley. Pinch hitter coming up in Hector Sanchez next, but first look at the strikeout, and that's just power blown by him.
Powder River coming at you. Challenge him. See how far you can hit it.
"15 strikeouts for Diamondbacks pitching today. It's up to Hector Sanchez pinch hitting here for Luis Torrens with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Strike one. Hector's had a flair for the dramatic this year, coming off the bench to pinch hit. See if he can do it again. 0-2. Hardest ball he's thrown yet at 98. Fouled back. Oh, 0-2 to Hector Sanchez as they stand in Arizona. Strike 3 call and the ball game is over. Sanchez goes looking, and Bradley in impressive fashion strikes out the side in order. 16 strikeouts in the game for Arizona pitching as the Padres lose the finale of the 3-game series but still win the series against the Diamondbacks. 3-2 final today from the desert. Time for Padres Live. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?